Hey guys, Brian here. I am at a really super awesome and cool place today. It is the Jupiter Lighthouse. This lighthouse is a really good place to visit because not only do you get to see the lighthouse, you actually get to walk up inside of it, go all the way up to the top, and get a great look around. So let's go check out the lighthouse. So this building was a World War II naval housing building. It says here the U.S. Navy constructed this building circa 1939 on land included in the federal Jupiter Lighthouse Reservation, established by President Franklin Pierce in 1854. Built as a married men's quarters, the two-story wood-frame building had 6 two-bedroom apartments, each with brick fireplaces and a continuous screen first-floor porch facing the inlet. During World War II, Navy personnel lived in this building and in the adjacent transmitter and dormitory and the Chief Petty Officer's quarters. I have never seen anything like this in my life. This is a public sunscreen dispenser. From Students Against Melanoma, sunscreen, play it safe, apply sunscreen every 2 hours. So you put it in there and does it come out? Yeah, look at that. That's amazing. I've lived in Florida almost my entire life. I've never seen anything like that. They should have this at every beach. The lighthouse is U.S. military property. No trespassing, but I've got a ticket so I can go in. No fishing, swimming, walking beyond this point. Violators will be prosecuted. I think it's talking about this beach area, because this is the Jupiter Inlet, which is where the lighthouse guides you into. That's the drawbridge. And then there's this really cool area with these nice rocks. Over here is another view of the building that was the military outpost. That's actually where you buy your tickets now. And there's a museum in there, which I'll go and look at after I check out the lighthouse. Well, let me see if I can walk down these rocks a little bit. It's not easy to get down here. Made it. And this takes you right out to the Atlantic Ocean. A lot of boats out here. People fishing up along the bridge. Oh, look, seashells. Wow. This is the Lighthouse Trail. This trail will take me to the lighthouse. And then when I am done with the lighthouse and I'm coming back, there's some old homes, old Florida homes they moved here. Oh, and they give you a whole history, too. The first Floridians, 5,000 years ago, the Loxahatchee watershed and the Jupiter Inlet, which is where we are, have attracted and richly supported a continuing human occupation. Wow, this is all before the 1500s, and then by the time the Spanish contacted the 1500s, the Hegawa and Hobe people created an inlet fishing village established on shell and sand mounds along the river. Wow. It's really quiet here, very peaceful. Even though there's brick and everything here, it does feel like I'm back in time a little bit because it's so quiet. And right over there you can see, that's the Jupiter Inlet to come out from the ocean. And there, you can start to see the lighthouse. This is a Seminole Indian house. It says right here, Chickie is the Seminole word for house. This one was built by Jim Billy, chairman of the Seminole tribe of Florida. But you know, Billy is also, at least at the time that this was built, because I remember hearing the name, was the chief of the Seminole tribe of Florida. But I guess they don't want to call him chief. They call him chairman now, but everyone calls him Chief Billy. The structure represents a significant era in the history of the Seminole and Miccosukee tribes of Florida, hunted by U.S. troops seeking to conquer and relocate Native Americans west of Mississippi. The Seminole people developed an efficient method to provide shelter for their families. And that's what this is. Wow. A lot of people hire Seminoles to come to their homes, and they'll build like a porch in their backyard, and they'll come and put these roofs on, which are made from the palm trees, and they last forever. I've never seen one have to be replaced before. Look at the craftsmanship. As soon as I stepped in here, the temperature dropped at least 10 degrees. Wow. Here we are getting closer on the Lighthouse Trail to the lighthouse. Now, there's two windows. I can see people up top taking selfies already. There's two windows on the lighthouse, and those windows are actually spots where you can stop and rest on the stairway up, because it's 105 steps up, and then you gotta walk all the way down. So it's a lot of walking. Yeah, there's one guy up there taking selfies. It's absolutely amazing. Now, this lighthouse was actually built in 1859 by General George Meade. And General Meade is famous because he was the general of the Union Army at Gettysburg, and he defeated Robert E. Lee at Gettysburg. And in 1861, the Confederate sympathizers in the area actually came into this lighthouse and stole the light mechanism out of it and hid it somewhere in the area. Someone told me a creek. Not sure if it was a creek or not, but they hid it in the area so that the Union Army and the Union Navy would have total darkness and not be able to enter the Jupiter Inlet. Because you remember, there was no electricity back then. So without the lighthouse, it was total darkness at night. And it was dark until after the end of the Civil War. Visitors beyond this point. Now, this used to be a working Coast Guard facility, actually not that long ago. So this is still Coast Guard property beyond this point, where actually Coast Guard people and their families lived here. So that's why no visitors beyond this point, because it's, well, it's a military installation as well as a lighthouse. Now, the 105 steps do not include these steps. These are just the steps to get to the top of the hill, and then the 105 steps are actually inside the lighthouse. Jupiter Lighthouse Museum, dedicated June 2nd, 1973 by U.S. Coast Guard Lieutenant Richard Harvey, Lightkeeper Casey Campbell. This is placed on the National Register of Historical Places. All right, now check this out. Here we are at the bottom. Wow. Came up those stairs to get here, and here we go. Caution, please consider the condition of your health today before making this strenuous climb. The exertion and heat can seriously affect those with diabetes, heart, and other medical conditions. No doubt about that. Luckily, it is a nice, cool day. Wow. Now remember, this was built in 1859. Now this says here, replica 100-gallon lard oil butt. Okay, that's what this is. Oil supplies were delivered to the Jupiter Inlet 2 to 3 times a year and stored in 4 oil butts, a nautical term for barrels. And this is what powered the light. Okay, here's the beginning of the 105 steps. Okay, here we go. Here's the first little rest area. And the window is open here. Out there, that's the Atlantic Ocean. And those are the houses where the Coast Guard families live, and I see some cars there, so I guess there are still Coast Guard families living here on the property. Okay, so this is the final step, and then this is the lighting mechanism. This light still works, and that light bulb looks so small. It's amazing that it lights up this whole lighthouse. Wow. And this is the mechanism to turn the light around. Look at that little motor. And it all still works. Tree is a banyan tree. They're all over Florida. Do not climb the tree. Oh man, this tree is made for climbing. I mean, this is like what you want to put the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse in. Look at this root that's just growing like a beam. A little bench here, and then boom, it's going and going. And this tree will grow forever and ever. It's not trimmed back like this with the branches. These branches aren't branches. They're actually, these are roots. That's a root, and they're seeking out water, and they will go everywhere. Now, this is a historical home that was moved to this site, and they said that it is the oldest home in Jupiter. So let's check it out and see what's in there. Oh my goodness, an outhouse. And you know, this outhouse, it looks to me as if it's real, that it can be used. It has a lock on it. We don't have to use it anymore. I think they have indoor bathrooms here. Hey guys. Please keep door closed, air-conditioned exhibit. Oh, wow. This is so neat. Wow. Okay, so here, Tyndale Pioneer Homestead, built in 1892. Built by George Washington Tyndale on the Loxahatchee River in Jupiter in 1892. Wow, on a 128-acre homestead. It says, going fishing with Grandpa Tyndale. Okay. Check it out. Wow. Ghost Adventures should come here. It says here, on the banks of the Loxahatchee. It's got the music for that, and then Evening Lullaby. Can you go in there? No, you can't go in there, of course. I wouldn't expect that you could. Okay, so this is kind of like the living room, the parlor, whatever they would call it. bedroom. There's your sink. You gotta walk out and get your water though. Oh man. Sewing room. And of course there's the washing machine back there with a washboard. This is the front of the house, and what's really neat about this is you can walk right in the front door. I just saw someone do it. Boom. Yeah, that's where I just was. So kind of get a different view. Now this door will be locked, of course. There's no way this is open. That's the Jupiter Lighthouse and Museum. It is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It took me 90 minutes from the time I got here until now I'm in the parking lot. I'm by myself, so if I had, you know, my family with me, I'd probably spend a little more time. So I would imagine this would be like a 2-hour adventure if you came with your family or with just another person, you know, if you're looking around in the museum a little longer. And the steps, I gotta tell you, it is not that easy. It's not a really hot day. It's in the low 80s, and when I got down, I was sweating because that walk down is a lot more difficult than the walk up, which I just thought it would be the other way around for some reason. Listen, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell, all right? And I'll see you next time.